Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. Welcome to our channel, where we dive deep into matters of faith, justice, and truth. Today, we're addressing a critical topic: the ongoing crisis in Palestine, the misuse of power, and the pursuit of justice as guided by the Quran and Islamic principles. If you find this content valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful discussions. Let's begin. The responsibility of power. Power is a trust from Allah, SWT. The Quran reminds us in Surah Al-Baqarah, 230, that humans are Allah's vicegerents on earth, tasked with upholding justice. Leaders must use authority to protect, not oppress. Misusing power, through violence, theft, or tyranny, violates this sacred trust. On the Middle East, we see a stark example. For decades, power has been wielded to displace, harm, and silence millions. Allah, SWT, gives time to correct wrongs, as he says in Surah Al-Anfal, 853, Allah would not change a favor he bestowed upon a people until they change what is within themselves. Yet, when oppressors persist, Allah's justice prevails. Consequences of misusing power. The Quran warns in Surah Ash-Shar, 94:6, indeed, with hardship comes ease, but also promises accountability. Those who kill, wage unjust wars, or oppress will face divine reckoning. Surah Al-Zalzala, 99:7-8, states, whoever does an atom's weight of good will see it, and whoever does an atom's weight of evil will see it. In Palestine, we witness the killing of innocents, children, women, journalists. These acts echo the tyranny of Pharaoh, who slaughtered infants fearing a threat, as described in Surah Al-Qasas, 28:4-6. Pharaoh's end, drowning in the sea, shows no power escapes Allah's justice. The Day of Judgment, ultimate justice. The Day of Judgment ensures fairness for the oppressed. Surah Al-Infatar, 82:1-5, paints a vivid picture: skies splitting, seas bursting, and souls confronting their deeds. For Palestinians enduring decades of loss, this day promises recompense. The Quran assures in Surah Al-Hajj, 22:60, whoever is punished unjustly and retaliates with justice, Allah will surely help him. Consider the cries of children in Gaza, the silenced voices of journalists, the grief of families. These injustices demand a divine court where no tyrant can hide. The historical truth of Palestine. In 1948, Palestinian lands were taken, creating what's now called Israel. Historically, Israel referred to the children of Israel, a people, not a place. The Quran mentions Bani Israel in Surah Al-Isra, 17:2-8, noting their trials and blessings, but nowhere does it grant them eternal land rights. Initially, Palestinians welcomed Jewish refugees fleeing persecution. Yet, this hospitality was betrayed. Homes, villages, and lives were seized, a tragedy continuing today. The Quran warns against such treachery in Surah Al-Mumtahana, 60:8, urging kindness unless met with hostility. Religious claims to land. Some claim Palestine as a divine right, citing religious texts. Yet, no faith, Islam, Christianity, or Judaism, grants land ownership based solely on prophetic history. Christians don't claim Bethlehem because Jesus, A.S., was born there, nor do Muslims claim Medina because Prophet Muhammad, lived there. Intriguingly, DNA tests in Israel are restricted, possibly to obscure the diverse origins of its Jewish population. The Quran emphasizes unity of humanity in Surah Al-Hujurat, 49:13, we created you from a single pair, made you into nations and tribes to know one another. Land claims rooted in exclusivity contradict this. The plight of Palestinian Christians. Palestinian Christians, like Muslims, have suffered immensely. Their churches, like the historic Al-Ali Baptist Hospital, have been bombed. They face the same displacement and fear. This isn't a Muslim-only struggle, it's a human one. Jesus, A.S., revered in Surah Maryam, 19:16-34, would weep for these injustices. The narrative that pits Muslims against Christians ignores this shared pain. Palestinians, regardless of faith, are united in their loss. Zionism and its impact. Zionism, a political movement, claims Palestine as a Jewish homeland. Yet, many Jews worldwide reject this, advocating for Palestinian rights. The Quran praises just individuals in Surah Al-Imran 3:113-115, among the people of the book are those who enjoin what is right. Since 1948, Israel has known no true peace. Constant conflict proves that security cannot come through oppression. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:120 warns, "Never will they be pleased with you until you follow their way, urging steadfastness in truth." Colonization and religion. Colonization often cloaks itself in faith. In Zimbabwe, British settlers justified land theft with missionary zeal, much like Zionists use religious narratives. Nelson Mandela, inspired by justice, likened South Africa's liberation to Palestine's struggle, a sentiment echoing Surah Al-Shar 94-5-6. The Quran condemns such deceit in Surah Al-Baqarah 2:11-12, when they are told, "Do not cause corruption on earth," they say, "We are but reformers." Unaware, they are the corruptors. Historical land claims. Land claims often ignore history. If we trace back to Prophet Adam, a.s., all humanity shares a common origin. Surah Al-Araf 7:11 recounts Adam's creation, unifying us. Claiming land based on distant ancestry, while ignoring current inhabitants, defies logic and fairness. Palestinians have lived on their land for centuries, their roots deep. Uprooting them based on ancient claims is unjust, as Surah Al-Hashr 59:8 supports those driven from their homes unjustly. Roots and justice. All humans descend from Prophet Ibrahim, a.s., as noted in Surah Al-Imran 3:33-34. Yet, greed and pride fuel conflict. The Quran calls for dialogue in Surah Al-Ankabut 29:46, "Do not argue with the people of the book except in a way that is best." Justice, not vengeance, brings peace. Palestinians seek their rights, not domination. This aligns with Islamic principles of fairness. Pharaoh's fear and modern tyranny. Pharaoh killed infants, fearing a future leader, as in Surah Taha 20:25-39. Today, similar fears drive the killing of Palestinian children, labeled as threats. This cycle of violence ensures no peace, as Surah Al-Qasas 28:21 shows fear breeding tyranny. True security comes from justice, not suppression. The Quran stories teach this timeless lesson. Land reform in Palestine. In Zimbabwe, land reforms return stolen territories to indigenous owners, a model of justice. In Palestine, evictions continue without explanation, violating Surah Al-Baqarah 2 hours 83 minutes, speak good to people, establish prayer, and give zakah. Media control stifles truth, but the Quran urges honesty in Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:8, "Be just, let not hatred of a people prevent you from being just." Blocking the truth. Censorship hides Palestine's reality. Social media bans and deleted posts erase history, much like colonizers burned records. The Quran warns in Surah Al-Buruj 85:10, "Those who persecute believing men and women, for them is the punishment of hell." Yet, truth persists. Brave voices, including some Jews, advocate for peace, embodying Surah Al-Mumtahana 60:8. Social media and reconciliation. Social media amplifies truth. Palestinians share their stories, and some Jews call for justice, fostering hope. War, however, sows generational hatred, as Surah Al-Fath 48-29 contrasts mercy among believers with firmness against oppressors. Reconciliation requires acknowledging shared humanity, a Quranic principle. Rights to the land. Biblical and Islamic narratives are misused to claim land. Muslims and Christians have historical ties to Palestine, yet no single group owns it divinely. Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:21 mentions the Holy Land but ties it to righteousness, not ethnicity. Prophet Muhammad wasn't native to Medina but built a just society, as in Surah Al-Hashr 59:9. Colonization and resources. Colonizers targeted resource-rich lands. In Zimbabwe, settlers planted trees to mark fertile areas. The Middle East's wealth, oil, trade routes, drew similar greed. Surah Al-Rum 30:41 warns, "Corruption has appeared, because of what human hands have wrought." Justice demands equitable sharing, not exploitation. Peace through justice. Peace requires justice, as Surah An-Nahl, 16 hours 90 minutes, commands. Allah enjoins justice, kindness, and giving to kin. Speaking truth, even when unpopular, is a duty. The Quran promises victory to the patient in Surah Al-Baqarah, 2:155-157. Palestinians deserve their land and dignity. Supporting them is a call to faith. Conclusion. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's pray for Palestine's victory and a just peace. The Quran guides us to stand for truth, no matter the odds. Please subscribe to our channel, like, and share this video to spread awareness. Together, we can amplify the call for justice. May Allah, SWT, guide us all.